Welcome to my channel. Welcome to the village of Peymakilir. This village was once very prosperous, but now it's nothing but a crumbling ruin inhabited only by ghosts and the occasional feral dog. There are two stories about how this happened. The first is told by those who live beyond the mountains. They say that one night a terrible storm struck, so fierce that it killed many and swept the rest into the sea. The second story is told by those who live by the coast. They say that one night the entire village rose up and walked into the mountains, abandoning their homes and leaving not a trace behind. These two stories, however, are not true. The real story is far more grim. According to local folklore, many years ago, the people of Potemkin lived under the rule of a wicked temple priest. This man claimed to be a holy man who had been chosen by the gods to protect the village from famine and plague, and so the villagers placed all their trust in him. Every full moon, the priest would take some of the villagers' blood in a secret ritual, claiming that it was an offering to the gods. However, the people never saw these gods. In fact, no outsider had ever seen them. So many began to question what exactly was going on here. Was this really a holy village, or was it cursed? As time went on, the priest grew greedy and he demanded more and more blood from the villagers. Then one day he announced that the gods wanted something even more precious. Children. Every full moon, the priest would select a child to sacrifice and then take them away into the forest to perform a blood ritual. This went on for many years, but eventually the villagers could take it no longer. They confronted the priest and he confessed everything, admitting that he had tricked them all. The so-called gods didn't exist. He'd made the whole thing up just to have power over them. Of course, they were furious and demanded to know where he'd hidden the children's bodies, but he refused to tell them. Instead, he challenged them to find the bodies if they dared, claiming that they'd find something far more sinister. And so it was that the villagers set out into the forest to find the priest's victims, but when they did, they found something far worse. Under the cover of darkness, the forest seemed endless, and after hours of searching, the villagers found themselves deep within its heart. That's when they heard it, a blood-curdling scream unlike anything they'd ever heard before. Then suddenly, the trees began to glow an eerie green and the forest itself seemed to reach out and grab at the villagers, pulling them deeper and deeper into its clutches. Terrified, they turned and ran, stumbling through the underbrush until they finally burst out of the trees and fell to their knees in the safety of the village square. But the next morning when the sun rose, it revealed the truth. The villagers had vanished without a trace. All that remained were their abandoned weapons and clothing, strewn across the forest floor like the discarded garments of a forgotten dream. Some say that the forest itself swallowed them whole, while others claim that the priest's dark magic consumed them. But the truth is far more terrifying. That night, the ground beneath Potemkin trembled as though an earthquake had struck. Then the earth opened up and giant claws, like those of some enormous beast, tore through the fabric of reality and reached for the sky. With a deafening roar, the beast emerged from its subterranean lair and stood atop the village. Its eyes glowed with an infernal fire, and its gaze seemed to burn away the very souls of those who dared to look upon it. So great was its power that the air around it shimmered and warped, and the trees bowed before its awesome might. And as the beast raised its head and let out a terrible screech, the villagers were no more. In an instant, it had devoured every last one of them, leaving nothing but claw marks on the temple floor and walls stained black with soot as though burned by unnatural fire. Since then, no one has ever entered the village again, for fear of whatever evil lurks within. But every full moon, when the shadows grow long and the wind whispers through the trees, some say that the villagers can be heard screaming as the beast makes its nightly feast. Thank you for watching.